Okay, that's boring. I understand it's what we call component.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a suppliers that sell components, say to aircraft companies, right?
That's exactly right. And he told me, no, content marketing for me, forget about it. Who will ever wants to learn about what I sell, what I have to sell? So my question is, how, generally speaking, how would we start in like saying not fancy B2B industry?
Yeah.
And specifically, do you have tips to be creative, ideas of the budget to start with, few things like that?
Yeah. So let me talk about a couple of things. I want to break that down into three different perspectives. Okay. Number one is content or marketing or content essential for B2B? That's the first question I want to answer. The answer is solid yes. Even though it's a boring topic or it's a boring component, you have to understand when you try to sell B2B products, you are not selling to masses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the first
Yeah.
thing you have to understand. Second thing is, no matter what you are selling, there are always a group of people that is doing the job that require your product, and they would get excited. So when you actually improve your product, either use aluminum material instead of plastic material, and you use aluminum materials, it's much lighter, and that's just say it will make the wings actually lighter and you fly faster. Let's just assume that. Okay. I'm telling you, the people who are doing the design and who are doing assembly, who needs to buy your part, they geek out. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand when you create content, you are not creating content to like, oh my God, nobody is going to read it. You have to think about your tribe. There will be the design engineers. There will be a manufacturer. There are people that actually have to put your part into the overall plan. They geek out. That's the group that you have to please. Maybe that group is only 100 people in this whole world.
But that's amazing.
But
That's
that's the people. You know them. Then you create content to please them.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Of
So
course.
that I totally understand where your customer coming from. Your customer say, why do I need to do it? It's only 100 people. Who cares? No. But if that 100 people is 80% of your revenue, you know what? You should care.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one.
Sure.
Second thing is, how do you create content that for the B2B side? That is a budget discussion. Okay? If you have a big budget, you can hire somebody to write a very nice script, and you hire somebody to actually do a cinematography type of production. You know what? You're gonna make your product interesting because you created like you storytelling, filmmaking, right?
Amazing.
So to me, you can do storytelling at a certain standard when you have a sizable budget. But if you don't worry about it. Just like Korean and I are doing. We have a chat. We talk about product. We do a little show and tell. If you are sincere,
Mhm.
it's going to come through. Why don't we start with that if we know budget?
That's amazing.
In general, any kind of B2B product is complex. It does require explanation. If you create something to explain it, it doesn't matter if it's a video, the audio, or even the blog. That's a content all by itself.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Of
Show and tell
course.
is a content. Content is absolutely necessary even for boring products.